What if I told you that you could gain more muscle, have better recovery, train harder more often, and do all that while lifting less weight? Now, all that sounds like something that you can only accomplish with the assistance of anabolic substances. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about proper and precise exercise selection. In particular, there's 3 exercises that I love that I use for almost everybody that I'm going to share with y'all today. Now, I'm a lot like y'all in that I love to train, but with training, not only do you have to train smart, you have to train hard and vice versa. You should not have only one or the other. Team Oonga Boonga, check in, I'm talking to y'all. Now, we have all heard our boy Alex say, get more out of less weight. That's true, man. You need to get more out of less weight with a good portion of what you do with your training. In fact, I spend a large majority of the time lifting far less weight than I could if I absolutely wanted to. And I still get jacked doing it. You can too, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. Before we get into the more advanced protocols, we have to cover the basics. First, I'm actually gonna put my coat on because it's like 30 degrees out here. Eat in surplus, get your electrolytes in, sleep as much as you can, stop skipping your eccentrics, lift to a good standard, and exhaust progressive overload. Don't just try to add weight and let that be the only thing that drives your progress. Add more sets, add more reps, add more density, and do all that while maintaining a good standard form, like I just said. You do all that, and you're gonna be getting more out of less weight without having to change anything else in your program. If you're not willing to do those things, find another video. If you don't do these things and then you use these exercises that we're gonna talk about, you're going to encounter the same problem. You're gonna continually consume content and never make any progress. So nail your freaking foundations are the most important thing. All right, that was level 1 of getting more out of less weight. This is level 2. I wanna talk about in level 2, the main topic of this quick tips, getting more out of less weight with self-limiting variations. Now that's just the galaxy brain way of saying you do something to make the lift more stressful on your muscles, and then consequently, you end up lifting less weight. Now there's 3 major ways that you can go about making a variation self-limiting. The easiest are extending the range of motion, making the leverage of the lift harder on a target muscle, or just add a pause and a tempo, bro. It's not very complicated. You can stack those 3 things up, but if you're just starting off, just do one, minimum effective dose, and then later as you need to stack those together, you can start to combine them. So with self-limiting variations, it's like a trade-off, or it's like, okay, you give me 20 pounds, I'm gonna give you a more targeted hypertrophy stimulus, more volume, more frequency, better recovery. It's like a no-brainer, bro. You're gonna use the self-limiting variation if you're looking to get bigger. All of these things come from using less weight, targeting the muscle more specifically, and not putting as much stress on your body. Now, how you use self-limiting variations is just gonna depend upon what your main goals are, hypertrophy or strength. I'm gonna give examples for each. It's really just gonna depend upon what's the bigger focus for you at the time. Now, for hypertrophy, you can use a self-limiting variation as the main lift of the day, the first lift that you give the most energy to, that you're getting the most volume from. For example, it could be something like a stiff leg deadlift that you do for like 3 sets of 8 to 12. You start off with that, you go into something like a single leg press, then back extensions, and then you finish up with hamstring curls. Then on the other hand, you have strength. You open up with something like a deadlift, and then you fill in with stiff leg deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, and then you go on about the rest of your, your strength workout. With this, you get more targeted hypertrophy. You don't get as much mechanical tension like load, weight on the bar. But in the other example, you get more weight on the bar, but your performance on the stiff leg deadlifts, what's actually getting you bigger, is limited because you're fatigued from that. So, like I said, it's really just dependent upon what your main goal is. You're going to get both size and strength no matter which approach you take, but targeted approaches are important to consider when you have specific goals in mind. All right, the 3 exercises that I promised. First is just gonna be Swiss bar benching. The neutral grip does a lot of cool things. First and foremost, it's just easier on your shoulders because of the way that you're able to turn your wrists in. It's not as stressful as like a barbell bench press on the rotator cuffs. Also, specifically when it has a camber, you get more range of motion on the pecs and triceps. So for hypertrophy alone, that's gonna be better. The main thing that makes me put this above something like a bench press for hypertrophy is the fact that it demands for you to be strong throughout the full range of motion and just not parts of it. With a regular bench press, the hardest part is the bottom, Once you get to above the mid-range and you lock out, that's the easiest part. With the Swiss bar, it's unstable going all the way up, meaning that you have to exert maximum force throughout the full rep. You combine that with the extended range of motion, you have a chef's kiss lift for hypertrophy. I like using the Nemesis bar. Anything that's neutral grip and a camber is gonna be good for you, but like I said, the Nemesis bar is what I use specifically and what I recommend. Now, another lift that I have really been enjoying recently for not only myself, but the folks that I work with is just chest to bar pulls. They can be chest to bar pull-ups, chest to bar pull downs. I really enjoy these because with pull-ups, the most challenging part of the range of motion is that top portion. And when you're going all the way to the chest or to the clavicle, you're getting so much more of not only a strength stimulus, but hypertrophy because you're getting so much more range of motion. Now, this obviously is gonna knock off all of the weight potentially that you're adding on weight at pull-ups or a substantial weight that you do on pull downs, but you're getting a more targeted stimulus to your back holistically, upper back, lats, teres major, all that good stuff. You're also gonna be able to do mechanical drop sets once you can no longer touch your chest. Boom, you can do, reps to the chin or whatever. Franco Columbu famously said, never add weight to pull-ups, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. You do not have to add weight to your pull-ups to get good hypertrophy. Last up is Romanian deadlifts. Nothing compares to Romanian deadlifts. Well, good mornings, honestly, are better for posterior chain, so like low back, glutes, hamstrings. But why I favor the Romanian deadlift overall as a holistic builder is that one, you're still reducing the load from a deadlift substantially. You're still targeting the posterior chain very well, so your glutes, hamstrings, lower back. Where the Romanian deadlift succeeds, where the good morning fails, is all of the upper back muscles, the lats, your grip to an extent, your traps, all those muscles are being targeted very well. Even your lower lats, fellas. All of that's being targeted holistically on a Romanian deadlift. They're called the bodybuilder deadlift for a reason. Like I said, you could really do either a good morning or a Romanian deadlift for the low back, hamstrings, and glutes, but holistically, Romanian deadlift all the way. All right, fellas, that's it for the quick tips today. We're gonna get into the hot take, but before we do that, I need to hear from y'all. What are your favorite get more out of less weight lifts that you enjoy doing the most? These are just 3 that I really like, that I prescribe to most people, that I think you can try now, but there's a bunch. I'm keen to hear what y'all favorites are though, so you let me know. We're gonna get into today's hot take. We have to talk about today's hot take. This hot take is a microcosm for everything that I just have an issue with in life in general. And one of the biggest things, it's absolutism. So training to failure shouldn't be done as often as most people do it. I get what they're communicating, but I feel as though they're missing the bigger picture. So you shouldn't train to failure on things like squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, pull-ups, if you're looking to get stronger, because that's not how you get strong the best way. You pace yourself. But are you gonna tell me that I'm not supposed to train to failure on bicep curls, tricep rope pushdowns, ab exercises, ring push-ups, ring pull-ups? I'm not supposed to train to failure on those things? Why am I leaving reps in the tank? Those things are to be done for size and muscle development. They're not being done for strength, so why am I leaving reps in the tank? You can both pace yourself on something while going to failure on something else. Here's the thing. Fellas not training their bicep curls, their tricep exercises hard is the exact reason why people don't get the type of results that they're looking for in those specific muscle groups. You have to be able to look at things from a broad scope and be able to take from 2 different schools of thought, basically, is what I'm saying. Y'all let me know how you feel about that. We're gonna get into the Q&A. All right, we're gonna kick off our Q&A with a quote of the day from BQ, Raider captain of the Noble Natties. And I quote, "I've had enough, fuck." This quote is amazing just because it says a ton without saying a whole lot, and it appeals to the meathead in me because of the way that it's worded. So here's the thing. In life, your shit stinks sometimes. Sometimes you're leaving something on the table. Sometimes you're not going after it the way that you need to. Sometimes it's not just, okay, I've had my off day. Off days are unacceptable if you left that last 10% on the table. You had an off day because you didn't give your all. So our first question is a really good one. So I'm transitioning from, back, legs, arms, etc. to full body. What are your thoughts on that? Like what kind of guidance can you give me? So first and foremost, congratulations. I really love full body. That's how I started off with my training career in terms of resistance training. I started off before then with like calisthenics and running, but it wasn't like a going to the gym kind of thing. Now, there's a couple considerations that you want to keep in mind. You can't do everything hard each time that you go to the gym, meaning you can't just deadlift, squat, bench 3 times a week hard. You need to split it up a little bit. So by that I mean, I like to break it up like this. You go to the gym 3 times a week, full body. First time is gonna be upper body hard, so your heavier upper body lifts. Lower body easy, like isolations, finishers, things like that, maybe calves, abs. The second day, you're gonna do lower body hard, upper body easy. So it's gonna be your heavy lower body lifts, deadlifts, squats, and then easier stuff for the upper body, pec flies, curls, things of that nature. And then your third full body session is gonna be something where it's like medium of both. So like I talked about in the intro, you got your self-limiting lifts that are just more targeted to specific muscles. They still work well, but you're using less weight. So you could do something like a front squat. You could then do something like an incline bench, and then you could work your arms and your abs and whatever other little muscles that you want to work. That's how I would break it up, as opposed to just going ham bone, you know, no Vaseline, hard lifts all 3 sessions. Now, if you want a specific template to follow to give you an idea of what that would look like, I'm gonna link one in the description below. For those that are watching that are transitioning from one split, whatever you're doing, to full body, please check that out as well. So our next hot take: chin-ups are better for biceps than curls. I just have to dash this one, out of existence. Like, I have to just smash this one. I have a bigger weighted pull-up than 99% of the people that are watching this video. I have done a 4-plate weighted chin-up. I've done 175 pounds added on the pull-up for 2 reps. I've done seal rows with 3 plates. They did not grow my arms that well, at least not as well as bicep curls. They grew my back. They grew my upper back, my teres major, my lats, all the posterior muscles. They sort of kind of built the biceps. Now, what you have to keep in mind with those lifts is that I have longer arms, so I'm getting more of a bicep stimulus than the fella that gave me this hot take and had shorter arms. So I'm getting the best of what you could possibly get from that type of situation, and it's still not optimal for me. My arms mutated, literally mutated, once I started implementing bicep curls, doing them hard. My arms skyrocketed in shape, density. They're getting bigger quicker because I'm training my arms and not relying on pulls from my bicep stimulus. I am stronger than the person that gave this hot take by a tremendous margin, and I'm likely stronger than you on pulls by a tremendous margin. I'm not saying that to put you down. I'm just saying that this is the eventual reality to the solution that you're trying to implement. That's what you can expect. What you could expect if you train your arms is more jacked arms. So freaking train your arms, fellas. This next one is a great question that I'm sure is relatable to a lot of different folks that bench close grip. But they said that close grip bench is becoming easier than their wide grip bench, and they're just wondering what the reason for that is. So there's a couple of different reasons why, and the most common ones that I can think about as a coach, and then just having personal experience with myself, is that if you stop lifting a particular way, you're going to lose skill and neural efficiency with that particular movement pattern. That's just the GIGA brain way of saying if you stop practicing something, you're not going to be that good at it when you come back to it. So like if you stop riding a bike, yeah, you'll kind of sort of know how to ride it, but you're not going to be able to pedal as fast and be as efficient with it. Same thing goes with wide grip bench. So if you stop wide grip benching and you only close grip bench, with close grip bench, you're getting a bigger range of motion on all the muscles used in a bench press, but you're lifting less weight as well because the range of motion is so much larger. But what you'll find is if you stop practicing the skill and your body doesn't have the neural efficiency to lift those heavier weights anymore, you're not going to be as strong as you would expect on the wide grip bench when you come back to it. So the idea is if you're looking to be good at the wide grip bench, it's kind of a microcosm of the intro, just like with the full body stuff. You want to do both at the same time if you're performance oriented. If you're hypertrophy oriented, wide grip bench is almost worthless. Do freaking ring push-ups, do dips, do dumbbell bench if you're looking to develop your pecs, do pec flies. Why do wide grip bench if you're already doing close grip bench? It's redundant at that point. But if you're looking to get the biggest wide grip bench possible, again, a microcosm of our intro, you do the wide grip bench and you do the close grip bench. Now, a reason why if you're doing both that your close grip bench might start to surpass that is that with wide grip bench, performance on it comes down to how strong your pecs are minus, versus how strong your triceps are. Yes, the triceps are still getting implemented into the lift, but the pecs are being emphasized specifically. If you take out accessories or you don't have very many accessories that target your pecs or strengthen them specifically, you could be getting stronger on both, but then that close grip will start to overtake it if in that instance you're doing more tricep accessories. So there's a couple different reasons. Those are the main ones why. The last one is just down to personal, eccentricities in people. I think that's how you say it. Some people just close grip more than they bench wide no matter what they do, and that's just how it is. It's like the stronger position for them, and then wide grip is the weaker position. With you, I think it's more so one of the first two, but you can try that out. You know what, fellas? This hot take, I'm gonna leave y'all with it, and you let me know what you think. Calisthenics athletes are stronger than bodybuilders. Oh my God. Yeah, buddy! Yep. Oh, yeah. Now I'm going to deviate from my usual formula here a little bit and end things today with a hot take, just because it's going to be a little bit of a bro talk. But this hot take was, if you're only strong in limited pathways, you're not strong, you're skillful. The reason why I say that this is a bro talk is because it communicates a lot to me non-verbally. There was a lot to unpack with this. That's what I said on my story when I saw this. Here's the thing. Yes, there are other ways to express strength outside of squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press. But in my mind, what this is communicating to me, and this is extremely common, is that you saw a fella that they lift in a way that you felt was not legitimate. So it could be sumo deadlift, a big arch bench press, overhead pressing with a bunch of layback, whatever the case may be. You saw it and you didn't like the way that it looked. However, they lifted way, way more than you can, easily. And you feel as though you need to disqualify what they're doing to make yourself feel better. Now, if this doesn't apply to the fella, don't let it apply. If it don't apply, let it fly. But this does apply to many people when they say things like this. This is why I'm communicating to whomever this applies to. Worry about what you're doing, man. There's a fella that I follow on Instagram, really nice guy. I'm gonna link his stuff here. He does the weirdest lifts that I've ever seen in my life. However, he is way stronger than 99% of the people that would ever have any criticisms to throw his way because of the way he chooses to lift. Very rarely does he do like a basic squat, bench, or deadlift. And when he does, he's still very strong on them. So really, man, just focus on what you're doing. Find the lifts that you enjoy lifting and get as strong as you can. It's not a good look to just hate on the next man to make yourself feel better about your inadequacies. So that's how we're gonna end off today's video. Y'all let me know how you feel about that hot take. If you have any questions about the questions that we covered here, please let me know. If you have any questions for next time, also let me know in the comments. I'll see y'all later.